I'll keep you posted on the lives, on the race, Scott.
That's fine. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for coming in. Welcome. We're just having a get together and just a general chit chat. We have Andy and Kirsty for UKGWP. See, usually I can't say their letters. I get them all mixed up, but because it's up on the screen, I can say no bother. So, you know. And we have Charlie for Charlie Rocks Paranormal. Rocks kind of joins. Feeling a bit under the weather.
Yep.
I can hear feedback. I can hear myself talking a couple of seconds ago. Why is that?
No idea.
Right,
you're concentrating on that race.
You're what?
You're too busy concentrating on the race. What's going on?
I can hear an echo.
You're too busy concentrating on the race. What's going on?
For a couple of seconds, but can you still hear that?
Yeah, we can. I can hear it.
That's a weird one, isn't it? Aye. So I'm missing the Grand Prix to be here tonight. Big sacrifice, but you know, we do it because we love doing. So who's going to go first? It's just that what we've been up to lately, how's things, etc. See, we don't have a topic, do we? We're just going to talk crap.
sounds about right, doesn't it? Don't, is that what we always do?
Well, I need to take this hat off, by the way. My heat's too warm. Sorry, guys. You're on your own.
You're letting the hat gang down.
Aye, I know. But I need the fresh air. Ruin my roots.
So you guys might as well start because you guys have actually managed to get out on some investigations. So we'll let you talk about them.
That's true. Charlie Rocks have started a new YouTube channel.
Seamless plug in there.
If Charlie will unmute himself, that is.
Yeah, you muted Charlie.
There
you go.
There we go, aye.
So you want my head back. I was baffled. Yeah, we started the new channel. The episode wasn't great, you know what I mean? Still learning, stuff like that. But it was interesting as I thought we had nothing there, and then there was little bits when we listened back to it. It was quite interesting, paranormal or not. We would let them decide. Last night we were at Graiseley Old Hall. Massive map with great people. We had quite a bit there in terms of EVP we captured. We also had balls going off, interactive. We had, what did we do? We put a ball on this one room. There was like a right at the top shelf, almost to the roof. And I say a foot from the roof to the shelf. And then we put another ball on the floor, and there was something there interacting with us that we were actually asking, can you touch the ball at the top and then touch the one at the bottom? And it was going within sync of each other on response, which was mad. And I captured an EVP that was upstairs, so that'll be getting released soon. But other than that, mate, nothing else really. Just been busy with work and stuff like that. But no, it's been quite good.
You done the Screaming House
Yeah.
as well. As it's been called. I know there's a kind of tragic story behind that.
Yeah.
Location.
A sad story behind that one, like. A murder happened in 1977. A strange thing about it is though, when you go through the story and like all the evidence that they found on it and where she was found, it's mad where she was found, because I know I wouldn't think to look in that place. Do you get what I mean? That wouldn't be one of my thoughts to go and look there. But yeah, the mother-in-law found her body in there. And it was to me, it was like kind of strange. It was like, well, all right, I understand that, but somewhere off the grid in the middle of a woodland, there's a big manhole, and the mother-in-law found her. You know, you can all speculate. You'll never know until, you know, they capture. But it was like Roxanne said, who knows, that person who done it could still be living in that area. Mm. They've never been caught. So, you know, that's the scary thing about it. Do you know what I mean? But it was an interesting location. Would have been a lovely home bungalow at the time. Like, would have been absolutely beautiful, especially with the forest at the back of it and the woodland. It was really nice. But no, I think we'll go back there. Definitely. I think when we go back there, just to see if we can work on, because we've seen a lot of videos where a lot of people have had quite a bit from there. And I think it's just in the terms of nights. If you know you go there one night, as you know yourself, it doesn't happen, and then you could go back the night after, and it could happen for you. It's just the luck of the draw, isn't it? That's how paranormal works. Unfortunately, we can't always have everything that we want 100% all the time guaranteed, can we? So, but no, it is a really interesting location. I think I'd like to go back just for my own perspective to get a full like theory on it. Do you know what I mean? Like proper delve deep into it and like, right, okay, this is, you can get intelligent responses from here, or it is residual energy. Because who knows, you know, people on the land, anything, you know, from years ago, you know, as you know, but it's definitely an interesting one. And I think you need a few more people for the energy, I think. I think that's what might build it, because I've seen other videos where there's quite a few people, about 5, 6 in there, and they seem to get it because of, and not whether it's the energy that, you know, the atmosphere in there. But it's a good location. It is great. Like,
I know Rasheen done it. A few weeks before you and Rod. I watched also you and I was going to say you and Charlie there, but you're Charlie, so I meant rocks. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Obviously both your hairstyles are totally different, like Sarah and mine. I watched your. I was going to say live. I'm on fire tonight. I really am, because I'm thinking about the race. Half of my mind's here, and the other half on the race. By the way, folks, during the live, we will be getting weekly. See what I mean? We will be getting updates on the race, because I can't watch it for here. So Sarah's going to keep us, you know, up to date on it.
Are you going to give people a warning though when you're going to give an update on the race in case they don't want to know the result?
I allow the warning will be, Sarah, what's happening?
Yep.
That'll be the warning. Is that what you want, Andy? Or do you want me to mail you? I can mail you.
What you were saying, Charlie, about going back to a place.
Yeah.
What I think that's a great idea. I'm an advocate for returning to a place multiple times, and not just, you know, you see too many people, they'll go to a place, say, oh, it's rubbish, we've got nothing, never go there again. It's always good to go back again, and you know, you might not get something first time, but you leave a little bit of your energy there each time, and you know, you build a connection with the place.
Definitely.
Rick, I'll get in touch with you, buddy. It's just been quite busy with us. So as I was saying before I get waylaid, I watched yours and Roxy's video, and I watched Rasheen's video. She seemed to get quite a wee bit. She seemed to keep getting a mail in the hallway.
Yeah. Well, when we were there, we had, I'd say more so me had the feeling that there was a male there trying to stop whatever coming through, communicating, trying to stop whatever, you know, secrets or whatever. Because I think there was one part when I said on there, is the girl obviously who died, is she here, or is the one that hurt her here? And we get a clear response of, it says, yeah, I'm sure it say, yeah, like, yeah. When I say, is the one that hurt her here now? And it was like a, yeah, like just so subtle. It was only like the small thing, do you know what I mean? And I replayed it and over just in case it was one of us breathing, do you know, one of us inhaled or something like that you could hear. And we were on phones, do you know what I mean? So that the mic isn't really great for picking up stuff. So we were like, oh, is it or is it not? And we thought, well, for the mic to pick that up, it must have been something close, do you know what I mean? And it was the same in the hallway. When I went into the hallway, I went, is there anybody here? And when I said, is there anybody here? I waited a couple of seconds. And then just before I went to start talking, you can hear almost like a female's voice going, here, like, here. It was mad, because it was like, we thought, we've had absolutely nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing happening here. But, you know, that's the way it goes. We'll still put it out because paranormal doesn't happen all the time. And then when we listened back to it, it was like, whoa, okay, there is something here that we can build on and come back and try and work with it again.
Tracy's saying some places need a trust building before you actually communicate with us. So always good ideas to get back to locations, even if nothing captures on our first visit. No, you're totally spot on, Tracy. No, we found that with that place we done last year. We went there over a space of 2 months. We went about 7 or 8 times, and we felt every time we went, we get more and more. And as you say, Charlie, about the microphone on the phone. Now, I'm not a tech guy, as you all know. I'm as thick as a brick. Do you know what I mean? And I know if you've got a microphone on a camera, it's got a wider range or whatever you call it for picking up stuff. Your microphone on your phone hasn't. So as you say, you get that voice and it's quite clear. So obviously, whoever it was right beside you. It's the same as what I call the whispering lady. The one that I got, it was clear as a bell. Yeah. And so it meant she must have been practically sitting on my shoulder. You know, in a manner of speaking, I don't mean
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know I watched both the videos, and I just felt there was somebody there, a male, who's not wanting people to talk, and I think it's something to do with what happened before.
Definitely.
I get the feeling that I might be totally wrong, might sound stupid, but he's scared in case he gets found out.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I get what you're saying, yeah. Was it somebody in that house that done it and then moved their body or what have you, and that person has then passed on there, if you get what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it's not her house, it's her uncle and aunt's house. She used to visit there every single day. When she left work for her break, her dinner break, she would go there and then she'd go back to work from there. And it's from there she went missing.
Just a theory, could it be possible something to do with the uncle?
Possibly. That was my first thought. Well, you know, is the auntie and uncle had something to do with it, you know? But you can never say, because you can speculate as much as you want. That was loud.
You got that racing up?
What was that? Did you hear that?
That was outside.
I don't know, because this TV in this room's no. What is hooked up? I couldn't sit with the TV there with the race on, and maybe because I'd be sitting like that, you know.
You don't want to watch the race, it's a joke.
On that note, I think that's called for an update, isn't it?
I think that does call for an update. Thanks, Andy, for that. We introduced the lead in. What's the update be?
Leclerc's now in fourth. He's having problems with the car. He says it's very difficult to drive. And Sainz has just been for a pit stop.
Don't cry too much, Scott.
I can see a retirement coming for Leclerc if he's having problems driving the motor. This is maybe a paranormal show.
Something to do with the electrics.
On that note, then, so talking about things being quiet first time and going back to them second or third time. Have you guys been to a place where like it was almost like they wanted to throw everything at you on the first time you went? So you went back and the next time it was really, really quiet.
Yeah, that's happened loads of times, loads of different places. You've gone there almost as if you're new to that place. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, you hear loads of people doing that Pacific location, and then you go and they're like, oh, sometimes it's quiet. So you go and it's like, oh my God, there's somebody new here. Whack, 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 whack. And then you go back the next time because you've said to people, oh, it's amazing there. We've had all this activity, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, all right, we'll come. They come and then nothing happens. It's like, well, you told us it was great and it's not. So sometimes it can be a bit of a letdown, but that's just the way it goes. You know, some stuff, we've had some amazing stuff happen first time when we've been to locations. And then other times we've been 2, 3, 4 times later and still nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? So
we had it at the Turk's Head, didn't we? When we first went,
As soon as we walked through, the current owner at the time, he says to us, all the power was shut off. There were no power at all, and as EMF straight away, as soon as we walked through a door, boom, the light, and the current owner at the time, his face, it just dropped, didn't it? It's like, what was that? And we asked him, when, are you sure all the power's turned off? He went, yeah, there's no power. Yeah. Check the switches, everything, nothing. Everything were off.
As we walked into the pub, because it was an old pub, you walked through the back door and there was a doorway to your left in what was like behind the bar originally.
Yeah.
And as we walked down to that second door, that's when it started going crazy. And then we went down into the basement and it just went off the chart. We checked everything, and then it stopped dead. We did the same thing the second time we went in. Not a peep, not a single peep.
But upstairs,
yeah.
And when we found out after, but the owner and me were upstairs and we're taking readings, and there were massive spikes, weren't there? It just went absolutely crazy. And then there were a draft, and he's like, "Did you just feel that?" I went, "Yeah." So I'm going around next to all electrics, nothing. And then we found out after it that a lady, she used to live there when she was younger, and her and her brother and some friends played a Ouija board. And then when they were telling us, oh, where have we gone? I says, Tandy, oh my God, here we go. I'm like, yeah, and that were after, and that was upstairs in the room.
Yeah, we were going back expecting like all bells and whistles and fireworks and brass bands, and we really had to work the second time for anything.
It was so different second time.
See, we've been quite lucky with getting results. You know, there's investigations we've been out on, and we've had nothing, totally flat night. You know, but we've still enjoyed it. But I mean, I know I always talk about the place, but that place Caldwell, the day one just seemed to with the what Andy asked about going to a place for the first time, and you're just getting bang, 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 as if spirits thinking, well, there's somebody here, let's go and make a noise. And that was, let's say, for day one at Caldwell. And Loudon Kirk was a bit like that in Obbie, wasn't it? She's watching the race. She was watching the race.
No, I was not.
Aye, you were. The strange thing about Caldwell was, I mean, we were getting the cat ball and the K2, we were getting everything happening. That's just a shell of a building. It's just brick. That's it. There's no power, no nothing. But after the first time we done it, we had a wee look back. We couldn't find any stories at all relating to any hauntings, anything paranormal, nothing. There was one story, I tell a lie, somebody claims they've seen a grey fox in the road. So we kind of debunked that and say, well, if you're driving at night, you see a fox going across the road, that's probably where it's been.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find anything paranormal related to that location, but even though it was really, really active, which I found quite strange. So why has nobody been here before and investigated this place? The we knew it. Sarah is watching the race. I don't care what she says.
If she gets a bit closer, you'll be able to watch it in her glasses.
I was just going to say that you can see the reflection in her specs.
Do you want me to sit at the bottom of the bed for you, Scott?
But no, I think that sometimes, I mean, we were talking last night, and spirits get bored and what have you, sitting about basically, and if somebody new turns up, they want to grab the attention. Because I think spirits are like kids in a way. I mean, I've spoken to quite a lot of people, no doubt you guys have as well, that it happened to us at Loudon a couple of weeks ago. We were getting nothing, and we said, right, we might as well just wrap it up. And as soon as we said that, we started to get activity. And it was almost, if there's a kid in a room full of adults and they're not getting any attention, the kid will do something, be naughty, break something or poke you or something. I think spirits are all on the same kind of lines.
We've tend to have noticed sometimes when you talk amongst yourselves and you're not really focusing on spirits and, the entities that are there, it is like you said, they're almost trying to grab your attention. Like, I am here. I will trigger this off if you speak to me. But then when you do start calling out, nothing happens again. Then when you go back to talking amongst each other again, bang, you're let it again as if say, I am still here. We've had that loads of places.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, I got my wee bit of attention, so I'm away.
Yeah.
I'm bored with you now. I'm going elsewhere.
I do think some places can be overworked as well.
Oh, yes. There's one particular place I'm thinking of what's over, and it's in Yorkshire. I think you could guess the house I'm on about. See, I've always said to Andy, that's one place I won't go to because it's been over. When you watch different things, something happens all the time, and I says to Andy now, they're not performing monkeys. It can't be right. And I'll never go. It's one place. It's never interested me.
It's not a paranormal location anymore. It's a cash cow house for certain individuals.
Yeah.
So
because it's gone from one thing to another thing now, and it's like.
No. It's in Yorkshire.
Yeah, probably the most famous one in Yorkshire.
There's a film on it.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you with us yet, Scott?
No, I'm not. I'm still in London. I think Glasgow.
So we're talking East Drive.
Oh, right. Aye. Go
I think it's too overexposed. I do. I mean, we were watching one. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was good, but now they're trying to say the monks demonic, and it's like, come on.
See, we're off there. A guy, one of our good friends, Liam, to be fair, from New Dawn Paranormal, he's invited us along in October to Scotland to do a location there, and then to 30 East Drive in January. Now, my theory on it is I want to go to debunk.
Yeah.
But the theory of Fred being demonic, it's not. Fred was actually a guy. I'm not sure if he was a priest, but before the house was built, it was actually gallows, and he hung children there, and he did things to children, then hung them. Yeah, so that was the whole backstory behind it. It wasn't the fact that it was this whole story of whatever's going on there. It should originate from where it's come. And I know there is certain things you're not allowed to do there, like Ouija boards and stuff like that. But for me, going there to a place like that is somewhere that I would like to go head on and like attack. Like, you've done this. Tell me why. Blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean? Get at it. Get right at it. Get into the nitty gritty and see if you can get a response from him. Do you know what I mean?
I think we're tainted by the amount we've seen of it, and and some of the earlier TV shows didn't help with that place.
No,
I'm not going to say names, but with knives appearing in couches and stuff like that, and there's others that you've seen. It's just all a bit. It's like, I use a phrase all the time that to me it's become a fairground, a paranormal playground now. It's not a location that
I don't think it's taken seriously now.
No, that's the problem.
It's I think a lot of people do it for the perception of 30 East Drive. This is what this story was about. It's all hyped up because of that story. And it's like, well, we've heard this. So anything that they heard in a house from watching other people, they think it's automatically paranormal instead of doing a full, I've seen some videos where they only get EMF readings from the electric fireplace, which is right attached to the next house. Could there be EMF transmitting from the next house near that fire and it's setting off, EMF triggers devices? Who knows? You don't know. Until I go there myself, I can't really judge. But I am hoping to go there to try and debunk it. Don't get me wrong. If we get some fantastic evidence there, do you know what I mean? And my mind gets blown, I'll be the first one to say, I was proven wrong. This is what happened and this is what I believe. But until I see that, it's that saying, seeing is believing.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'd go, but I wouldn't put it at the top of my list of places.
That's it. I mean, you'll go, wouldn't you? But me.
See, I'd go with people that I trust.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's how it'll work. If you work with the people that you trust and that are genuine, then you know that whatever you do capture is genuine, if you capture anything at all.
Yeah.
One I'd like to do is that to Grey Street in Hull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody offered us to go there the other week.
I think I'd scream straight away just seeing dolls. I just don't like dolls. I've always said to Andy, when we go to that museum in Vegas, do not leave me in that room with them dolls. I'll be traumatized. But that's
Are you,
young. I've
are
never
you going
liked
to buy one?
I'm like, no.
I think what
I'd
Jacqueline
rather go somewhere
right
else.
Yeah, true. That is true. That
Yeah.
the price is ridiculous.
See, we had an interesting talk, live with Bishop James Long, and we asked him about films. And he told us one of the most accurate films that's out there is The Rite.
Oh, the exorcism with Anthony Hopkins and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bloke, the priest on The Rite, is friends with him. And he's got the case file on it. And he was telling us that's the most accurate film out there in Hollywood. He says, because we asked him about Holly Rose, he says there's so many mistakes in that because you wouldn't do that, address something like that, keep addressing it. It's something you don't do. And it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I follow him on TikTok, and some of his stuff that he comes out with is good. Like I like when he does a review of the videos. I know there's a certain, I won't say names, but what I've been watching on YouTube, there's a certain thing I watch which is great. Their videos are great. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoy watching them. They seem really genuine. But that Bishop James, he actually used to work with one of the guys that actually does that now. And when he's like cleansing and clearing houses, that Bishop James said that he's going the wrong way about it. And I don't know why. He said because he used to do this for a living and he used to really be good at what he'd done. And now it's kind of slipped and he's gone down a different route.
So he still does it now, but he gets an awful lot. And I think a lot of it's unwarranted. I mean, we saw someone the other day attacking him just because of what he does and the fact that he puts his word out there.
But people assume is it Catholic demonologist, but he's exorcism, but
he's not. He's a old American church. Is it the Old American Church or Old Catholic Church of America or something? It's the older. It's like an independent group. So he's not recognized as a demonologist by the Vatican. An exorcist, sorry, by the Vatican. Which the Catholic ones are. And I think that's why he gets a lot of stick for what he does.
But he actually shared with us one of his cases. He was talking out live and I thought it were eye-opening about an old lady.
We're definitely
like, wow.
We're definitely going to try and get him on again, and we'll get you guys in with us because it's always good to, have more voices when we chat to these people.
Yeah.
I think Hollywood. We've talked about this so many times, and I know a lot of other. Well, Sarah's gone. She's away to watch the race. That's why she's turned the camera up so she can get closer to telly. But I think, as you see that film, The Right, Anthony, I've seen that. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah.
But I think Hollywood took a lot of stories and just destroyed them.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like I say, Amityville. I was talking to a girl. She's just started a crime channel. There's links up on your page, LAUGH.WE, and she was looking for ideas, and I says, why do you know the Amityville? Look at the DeFeo murders, not for a paranormal side, but for a killer side, basically a crime side. Because I think Hollywood took that story and just turned it into a paranormal playground.
Yeah.
The Amityville.
Yeah, I mean, friends around Duo. I mean, they did a live with go on. Ernie Johnson. And Arnie Johnson. And we asked in comment, is the film more what actually happened?
Is it accurate?
And he says no. He says it were a lot worse than what Hollywood's. Yeah.
See, this is the thing I don't get about Amityville. I mean, we covered it when we.
Way back when we started, it was one of our very first parapole subjects.
We covered Amityville, and I looked into it. I mean, the house was built in 1924, and the DeFeels moved in early 1970s, I think, 72, around about 72, 74. They moved in. Between 24 and, say, 74, there was nothing. There was no reports of any activity in that house. And then, obviously, what happened with DeFeels, and then the Lutzies moved in, and they lasted for 28 days. They fled, saying the house was a mess. It was demonic and all the rest of it. The couple, the family that bought the house after the Lutzies, turned around and says there wasn't one thing wrong with that house when they moved in. It wasn't destroyed. And since the Lutzies moved out, there's been nothing happened in that house.
Yeah.
So that's what I found was strange. You know, if there is a presence in the house, whether it's demonic or whatever it is, you know, why wait 50 years, then start up and then suddenly stop? And the thing that got me about the field murders was as well, they says it was Ronnie that went around shooting his family. They found gunshot residue on the oldest sister's hands as well.
Yeah.
She'd been shot.
What we've noticed, being out here and investigating a lot more of the American side of the paranormal, is there tends to be a lot of cases where they have generational hauntings and sort of family hauntings. So you get a lot of people who take their hauntings with them as they move house. As you know, out in America, people move quite often. They take that with them. But there's also a lot of documented where a haunting has been passed down through generations. It kind of sticks with the same family.
I would say it's darker though out here. A lot of it's more darker. I mean, we've been debating today. When we go away in July, on way to where we're going, there's a place and it's
called the Bodie State National Park. It's the old Bodie. It was a boom town in the 1800s. A lot of gold, etc. there, and it's now a ghost town. There's about 100 buildings left there. You know, the old bars, the old houses, etc., etc. But there's a curse on the site. Now, so what they've got there is they've got a couple of books, and it's literally full of letters. Now, it's said that people have taken nails and pieces of wood and foundation stones, etc., away from this site, and since they've done it, they've had nothing but issues. And they literally, if you have a look at it, there's book after book after book, and it's letters from people who have visited where they've sent the item back to them with a letter saying, "Keep this, we don't want it anymore. Since we took it, we've had nothing but problems." So
where does it originate? Where does the curse originate from?
So they don't know. That's the thing. They don't know. They're just saying that there is a curse. Obviously, we've not got back as far yet. We only found out about this place a couple of days ago when we were researching what was around where we're going on holiday. We haven't got back that far yet, but looking where it is, it's in a mountain range. It's near a couple of lakes, so it's near Mammoth Lakes or Mammoth Mountain Range, one of the two. I do believe that there was a Native American past in these areas, so it could have stemmed from that. But also, there's as with any of these sort of boom towns, ghost town type places, there was a lot of drinking, a lot of gambling, a lot of prostitution, a lot of murders, a lot of deaths. So we're looking forward to sort of researching it more and seeing where this came from. It's just this is at the forefront of everything we've looked at. You know, we've seen the pile of books with all these letters in, you know, saying, "Look, take this nail back. I never want to see it again. Since I took it away from your site, I've had nothing but bad luck," kind of thing. And one or two letters, you think, yeah, you know, people are just putting a bit of a spin on it. But they've got literally thousands of letters where people have sent things back. It's crazy.
Wasn't there like a paranormal show on that?
There was. So Cerro Gordo Mines was on Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, that's what it might have been in, because I remember watching something and they said that they sent parts of this foundation back because something was happening when we were going home. Things were happening in their houses, bad luck and all that stuff. But I couldn't remember like what you were saying and whether it was. So I'm sure I seen something with that on.
Do you know what, Charlie? It's potentially true. Like I say, we're only a couple of days in, and you know what it's like yourself when you're investigating. There's so many rabbit holes to go down to find out. You know, we've got something like 40 or 50 houses to look at in this Bodie. Funny enough, and the one thing that always sticks in our mind, we like coincidences and little things that like, oh, that could be a link.
It's something that backs it up.
Yeah. So the first house that we saw an article about in this Bodie Park was the Murphy house.
Murphy.
Yeah. It's just like it's one of them little things you look at and you're like, well, maybe we were meant to find this place. Maybe we were meant to go on holiday just 15 miles up the road from it. You know, maybe we were meant to go and have a little look around this place. You just don't know, do you? It's just that little link that you think about. Sorry, I'm waffling on a lot today.
No,
that's what you're here for.
It's interesting.
That's what you're here for. No, but
I'm still drawn to the other side, though, aren't I? The
demonology side.
No, the
Skeptic.
Skinwalker.
There's something so because it's so secretive, and I'm still drawn to it because it's like from it goes so far up. Is it Utah or I don't know? Is it Idaho? Ohio, and it's like so many things, and there is someone here on camp who can tell us a lot more about it. The police is a copper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be interesting because he's heard about. I think we told you before. Someone who was based here, where we are, went running, and something happened when they were out running, and it's on YouTube. You can watch it, and he goes into more detail, and they've heard about it on here.
We'd like to find out if it's true, but it's such a big thing to get into.
That's all it's thing, isn't it?
See, I'm quite skeptical on the skinwalker type of things. I've seen so many videos and stuff like that, and they look, oh, could it be an animal? And I know they say skinwalkers, you know, they transform whatever, if you know, you get what I mean. But I don't know, I just believe that could be so much hearsay. Do you know, from scaring back in the land, you look when the Native Americans had the land and it got stole from them, like you said, the curses, they used to put curses on the land. Is there something that's been made up and then it's just gone completely whack out there, so everybody believes now in skinwalkers?
Yeah, I think a lot of personally, I think a lot of the, you know, the changing and, you know, seeing them as other things, I think a lot of that is down to, you know, they'd wear animal hides as coats, etc.
Yeah.
They put antlers on their hats, you know, to make them look more warlike.
Yeah.
I do believe that there is a thing of skinwalkers, and I do believe they're potentially the Native American shamans. I think the shape-shifting side of things may have come from how they dressed and what they used, you know. You see them, you know, like you get the big like tiger skin rugs. They don't cut the legs off them. They leave the legs on when you lay them on your floor. So they've got skins where they've probably left the skin from the legs on and stuff. And
people are seeing like apparitions of these like in the mountains or whatever when they're out and whatever, and it looks to them like it's an animal. And then when it stands up, it's
a human. It's definitely something. It's one of them things, though. I mean, when we started looking into skinwalkers and we really started researching it, you know, and we started speaking to people, I don't know, it just didn't feel right, did it?
I mean, what drawed me were, and it still does now, obviously I'm not from here, I'm not from America, being from England, and then this, it's like, oh, I'd love to see what I can, do you know, like someone from another country coming in, see what we can investigate, and from our side, do you get me?
Yeah.
Not if I'm wording
it's intriguing to see how the other side works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as Tracy says, yeah, we'd love to do Skinwalker Ranch, but I don't think anybody would ever get anywhere near being able to do that.
No, it's proper. It's
Hasn't it got radiation there?
So is it not boron? It might be boron. But somebody put out the other day as well, though, that Skinwalker Ranch and also Blind Frog Ranch is just a few miles down from it. There's some military bases around there that have got quite a hidden mission, as they call it out here.
Right.
And they reckon that there's a lot of what they do is actually under the ground. Like bunkers and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's always the possibility. There is known to be tunnels under there.
But yeah, they put equipment down there, didn't they? And they got high levels of radiation. And one guy ended up in hospital. Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is, but it's also it's also in a very, very active UFO. I keep doing this today. In a very active UFO sighting area as well. So it's kind of strange. That area, the Skinwalker Ranch area, the Blind Frog Ranch. Don't know if you've seen them on Discovery Plus.
I've seen the Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah. Watch the Blind Frog Ranch as well. It's actually a lot better than it seems to be. They're all very close together, and they're all having the similar type of issues.
All right.
So
I think I'll just stick to what we're doing. It sounds too complicated for me.
But it is fascinating, though, isn't it? It is really fascinating.
Yeah, because it's like the men they're saying about the Skinwalkers, and then next thing they're saying it could be possibly UFO or, and it's like, what is it?
Yeah.
Is it this? Is it this? Because there's they put a video on, and were it not alpacas? Were it llamas?
It was a couple of llamas getting attacked by something.
Something, and you see something, but because one camera shut off, and I'm there at telly saying to Andy, what is it? What is it? Why did camera shut off?
They do it in such a way that it could have been like a wolf or something on its hind legs, attacking. But they play it in such a way, and they slow it down in such a way that it looks like it's prolonged walking on its hind legs.
So they've slowed the speed down on it. Yeah,
they've slowed it down so much, and the camera is blurry enough that you can't actually make out what it is. All you see is what looks like a wolf standing on its hind legs, attacking a couple of animals. So, yeah, they may be quite clever in how they've edited. But there is definitely something going on at Skinwalker Ranch and Blind Frog Ranch that's just unexplainable. I mean, we're not big into UFOs and that sort of stuff, so we're not saying we're going down that way of the paranormal world. But what we found out here is that is quite big in the paranormal out here. It's not got the history, that the UK's got. We've not got all the, all the old abbeys and all that sort of stuff that you can go and visit. The graveyards are much newer. So there is quite a big focus on the sort of the Skinwalker, the Native American history. And when you do research the paranormal out in the US, Native American history comes to the fore in a lot of the hauntings. It always comes back that it was built on Native American ground or close to a Native American burial yard.
See, I'd love to speak to some. Yeah. Because obviously they were here in America before anybody. And
is that like a very touchy subject though out there?
Yes.
Speaking to about the Native American, about the way they did things. Is it very secretive to them?
So we have a group. We have an area local to us. It's called Tehachapi. It's an old Native American town, and there's a paranormal group in Tehachapi, Haunted Tehachapi, and it's run by a lady. I can't remember her name now. I think it's Maychery or something like that. And we were going to have her on to chat about the area. And we actually started getting hate from local Native Americans, basically saying, can you have, I hate saying this, a white woman on to talk about our land? And we got quite a bit of that. And that's one of the reasons why we stopped looking at the skinwalker side of things. It's because we don't want to upset anyone. You know, we were speaking to her as the owner of a group, about, you know, where she set up her group from.
Yeah.
And it was quite, at the time, it was a little bit, you know, we don't want to stand on anyone's toes. We don't want to upset anyone at all. That's one of the reasons why we said it was a bit uncomfortable to start looking at. So, but yeah. Anyway, this is supposed to be about your YouTube channel, Charlie. We've taken all your time.
No, it's not, mate. Don't worry about it. It's interesting. It's fascinating to me. Do you know what I mean? I love all things in paranormal, and that's something I'd love to do, is go out there and do something like that. Because, you know, I would end up going up to and asking some of them to give us some information. Like, if they turn me down, they turn me down. But I think you've just got to go for it, mate, and just hopefully you get somewhere with it. Do you know what I mean? If you offend some people along the way, you offend some people along the way. Do you know what I mean? That's always going to happen, no matter what you do. It's never going to be happy or good enough for some people. So just do you, mate, and go and do it. I would.
I'll end up getting shot or something.
But that's
Andy comes back on a live with an arrow stuck in his chest or something. Cheers for that, Charlie. Cheers for that.
Lose a scalp or something. Well, they'd have a hard job scalping me, wouldn't they? Can we have a wee update? Sorry, Andy, to interrupt you.
It's all been happening. There's a safety car out at the moment, so the race is practically stopped. Norris, still 2-3.
Oh, that's all right. That's decent enough. Sorry,
Norris went in at the barrier. Norris went in at the barrier, so there's a safety car.
Excellent, good stuff. See, this is like you never know.
We're on lap 40. We're on lap 45 with 57.
I'll be here soon then. So I need to ask you guys. I've asked quite a few people this. I don't want to take the limelight away from Andy. You know, no, he's doing there, isn't he? I'm still not used to this camera thing. Many times I do. I've asked quite a few people this. I know you've experienced the upsurge in the haunted item sale. What do you make it? What's it like in America compared to the UK?
So I went to Walmart a couple of days ago and I bought 100 Barbies off the shelf. They're all haunted. They're available at $9.99 each. I'll even send them to you in a box covered in wax, and I'll put my smelly socks in there as well to make them smell.
Oh, that's a
just don't open them when you get them, because a demon is going to come out of the box.
What, the shape of a sock?
See, this is my views personally. I mean, I don't want to offend people, but you see too much of it now, and there is genuine dolls out there, and for these genuine dolls that are, then some people are just making a mockery of it, and it's
I make light in what I was saying there, but there is genuine. I don't like to call them haunted dolls. I think they're these genuine dolls with attachments. You know, because we all know spirits can attach to anything, and obviously dolls being attracted to kids, and you know, there is dolls out there, and we all know a few, you know, haunted dolls that we probably all believe are genuine. There's just I just can't fathom some you know, that, especially the ones that seem to take these dolls on investigations with them to try and use these dolls to get a rise out of a location when these items have never been to that location, and if they have got attachments, the attachments have got nothing to do with them locations. I find it hugely bizarre lately what's going on.
Well, it's like our friend James. I mean, he binded the Annabelle doll, and I mean, when we watch the thing on that, and then it tells you end who binded Annabelle, and it's like, oh my god,
yeah,
wow.
So yeah, the upsurge at the moment, Yeah, there is an upsurge at the moment. There is a, I believe, me personally, I believe it stemmed from was it This Morning show with a doll?
How
Yeah,
many? Because there's been 2 or 3 on there.
I don't
I've
watch
only
this
seen
more.
one, and I can't remember the guy's name.
The
They were,
one with
there
the crying, with it acid.
oh yeah.
I was shaking my head because it's like it's annoying because these things, when you know there is something out there and that is got an attachment, it makes other people not believe, and then there could be something dangerous, and it's. I just think some people do it for the money, fame.
I think a lot of it is stories as well. You know, if you've had an accident in a home, or a fire, and a house has been destroyed, and this doll is the only thing that survived, or anything like that, or a murder, or anything like that, it's a story behind it. So a lot of people associate then that doll must be haunted because it survived that house that's had this traumatic, blah blah blah. It's seen it, and it's not. It is like you said. It's a money making scam. There's a lot of people out there that make a scam and they make a mockery of genuine people who have got genuine attachments to their dolls, and it's a shame, to be honest. It is a real shame because it's something I never believed in. Never believed in. I thought that it was far fetched. Excuse the language, bullshit. Yeah. And I did, and we've witnessed it. Do you know what I mean?
But, I mean, when they're saying, and you can clearly. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, it's all right. Go on, carry on.
I just love this subject. It's like
She's offering one.
When something like this, and you can clearly see, like, nah, that's not, and then they're claiming it's a demon. For me personally, it's like, and after the people have been talking to that we've been getting on show, and they've been telling us, and it's like, if it were something like that demonic, what they're claiming that doll is, it's like, mate, you ain't got a clue. If it were, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
Show me documented 100% undebunkable evidence and I'll believe you. Until then, don't even,
Because when they're claiming that there's something that what's meant to be that bad attached to that thing, it's like, for something like that, why is it attached?
Yeah.
What gets
Do
me?
you get me?
I know what you mean, because what gets me is, and I don't know a lot about these haunted dolls because I've never been interested in them. I know there is documented cases, real stuff that's happened, but what gets me is you can get them off eBay and stuff, right? And they've all got a story attached to them. They've all got a spirit attached to them. So where did they come from? Where did these spirits come? Do you know what I mean?
I just told you, Walmart. I've just bought 100 Barbies. They're all haunted.
Aye, with cheesy socks.
But you can literally, it's. I mean, you look on eBay now, and it's ridiculous. You can buy a Dybbuk box on nearly every paranormal site now. You can buy a haunted doll on nearly every paranormal site now.
There was something that I seen a few years back now. For you to get a real Dybbuk, genuine Dybbuk box, right? They say Native Americans, which women, the women were like witch, craft lords, whatever you like. They actually give you that Dybbuk box. You don't buy it; they trade it. So they give you that in trade for something else, and it might not be expensive or anything like that. It could just be something simple that they want, and just a gift. And they will genuinely give you a Dybbuk box or a box as such that is supposed to have something attached or locked away inside it. And they say that you will never buy a real Dybbuk box. It's something that people perform, if you like. Some people frown upon it in the paranormal, where you try and get an attachment to actually, a spirit to attach to a doll or water, etc. And this is what they do. And then they trade that. They don't sell it, they trade it. So it's like a genuine swap. They don't want money. They don't make money out of it. It's something that they do like a gift, if you like.
Yeah.
We watched one. When was it, Sarah? Oh, it was a long. That's my leg, by the way. Just in case people are wondering. I better put it away.
There's more hair on that than there is on your head.
The only reason, Andy, I'm not showing my legs, as I said the other road, don't want Kirsty divorcing you and coming back to the UK for these things. Where was it, Sarah? We watched that. It was this couple that were opening one in the street going alive. Mind?
I don't know.
Oh, it must be months ago. But this box and they done a live on it and they were opening it down. It must have been doing an alley or something like that when we set stairs and they were opening. It was a big build up, you know, to opening this box and there was nothing in it.
Yeah, I think every YouTuber these days has done a Dybbuk box opening on their live, haven't they?
You know, it was the big build up. It's the same with these haunted. It's going to the stage where it actually annoys me. We don't usually speak out and what have you, but enough's enough. Do you know what I mean? These haunted dolls, haunted rings, haunted, you know, toy cars, whatever you want to call it. You buy them off eBay, all the rest of it. They've all got a wee story attached to them, and folk actually believe it.
Well, look at that ring, Scott, that we found on eBay. Mind, when we were coming back to camping, I was having a look, and it was if you wore the ring, it was granted to give you your true love or something.
If you put this ring on, it was guaranteed that you'd find your own true soulmate. You know, and you'd fall in love for eternity, kind of thing. If you put this ring on, I think it was about a tenner or something.
I mean, we've done quite a lot of research on Dybbuk boxes as part of our very first ever Demonology Week, and if you actually do some research on them, there's just 10 original Dybbuk boxes, and they're all associated to the Tree of Life. And there's 2 of these Dybbuk boxes. Actually, it sounds like it's a con, but there's 2 of them in Las Vegas at the moment.
Yeah, in the museum.
One is like a tree, isn't it?
One is the root.
Little,
one's small and it's the root, and then he's got the root and the top of the tree. I think he's got. But yeah, there's only 10 real. Obviously, there is people that attach things to them, as you were saying, Charlie, from the Native American side. But through history, there's 10 documented Dybbuk boxes. They do say it can be dangerous if all 10 were brought back together.
That'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it?
It would. Would we get to see it though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Would
Never
we get to see it if they did get them all back together? I mean, I know there's a couple of businessmen in the US that are reported to have. I keep doing that again. I'm doing that a lot today.
What is it with this?
It's because I'll tell you what it is, and it's because when you do it yourself, try some research on stuff in America, and it's all reported. It's not documented. So it's reportedly this and reportedly that. So I don't want to stand here, and give these stories and, and have people come back to me and say, oh, you're talking a load of crap. What I'm doing is I'm talking about what is reported. And that's my way of saying reported. It's my way of saying I'm going to quote something now, not I'm not talking.
Do you do that everywhere else as well? Do you go into the supermarket?
A lot in work as well, yeah. I do a lot.
Can I get 2 bottles of cola, please?
Yeah. No, I did it in Walmart the other day. Can I have 100 haunted dolls, please?
It's been reported that they're on sale.
Yeah. They're $9.99, like I say, and they come with a Dybbuk box with my smelly sock in, covered in wax. And I'll even wrap them in brown paper and tie a little bit of rope around them if people want.
No, whenever a brown package gets delivered to a house, I always find it deeply suspicious.
But no, if you get a chance to research the history of the Tree of Life and the Dybbuk boxes, etc., it's definitely something I would recommend. It gets not lighthearted at times.
I think Dybbuk boxes and stuff. People, there are real ones, but people have just clicked on. Wait a minute, I can make the Americans say, a fast buck out of this.
Yeah.
And they just start mass producing them. whether it's a box or a doll or rings. And the thing that really, again, annoys me is the amount of people who actually buy these things and think, I've got a spirit in my house. You know, I've got a Barbie doll here and she's called Penelope, you know, and they actually believe it and they take it. As you said, Andy, this is the thing I was going to ask Charlie. I know you've got experience in this, Charlie. So you go me doing that now. But Andy was saying about the haunted dolls, and somebody will get one and they'll take you to an investigation, right? Do you think they take it to the investigation in the hope that whatever spirit may be attached to it goes with them and gives them some activity, maybe? Or as I say,
it is a tricky one. It is a tricky one. You've got my theory is if a spirit can attach itself to a doll, that spirit can unattach itself to that doll.
Yeah, definitely.
So if that doll has an attachment and you take it with you to a location to, you know, see if it vamps up activity in a location somewhere else, then yeah, rightly so, that could possibly be if it's come attached thingy. But then you've also got to be careful if that doll you have took to a location and kept there over a while, you know, however long, and that's untouched itself from the doll and then is it roaming around that house, but perceives to be still attached to the doll, if you get what I mean. It can be quite tricky. Do you know what I mean? We know we've witnessed ourselves that a spirit has attached itself to a doll but hasn't left this doll, but yet asks to be released.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I mean, like you're saying, Charlie, it doesn't want to. If it's something very from the dark side, we all know it's not the doll it wants.
No. So it is a tricky one, but you know, like you could take that doll somewhere and then one day, oh right, I like this place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll leave this doll and I'll stay here. Okay. And then you go home and you took your doll and your doll's no longer got an attachment. Do you know what I mean? It's as easy as that. It could happen. Do you know what I mean? I know, you know, there was theories. We all had theories about the Grace doll that if we took her back to Nanclwyd y Dre, where the attachment happened, would she then unattach herself and stay there? Do you know what I mean? It's always a theory we had. Well, what would happen if we took her back? Do you get what I mean? Would you then lose? Would you then lose her attachment because she's gone back home to where she came from, essentially? Yeah. So it's mad.
Yeah, it's like you're saying. Once again, it goes back to documented proof for me. You know, we've got a guy when we rearrange our demonology week, because unfortunately we had to cancel it because I got called into work. We've got a gentleman that has quite a collection of haunted items, but he's got them from locations that he's been working at, and there's documented evidence behind these items.
Yeah.
Gavin Canavan, that you've all you've heard us speaking to, you've seen us chatting to him. He had a collection. He's had that destroyed now because of the negative effects it was having on him and his family and his house.
And that's a demonologist.
So that there is 100% real items out there that have attachments. The problem is people are making a mockery of that now for money-making schemes. You know,
definitely
saying, you know, it's hard enough for a team to get one haunted doll, but to come forward and say we've added a doll to our growing collection of haunted dolls. You know, I've heard numerous teams saying that. I just 100% do not believe it. Do not.
Well, as you say, Andy, it's hard enough to get one, but for a team or teams to get one after the other,
yeah.
You know.
See, I've always said to Andy, one thing that fascinated me, and it were our first ever interview we did with you, Charlie, and Rox, and it was the dream you mentioned around Grace.
Yeah.
You and then someone else who.
Yeah, me and Katie Hughes.
I found that
we had the same dream on the same night, but it's so vivid. I remember it to this day like it was yesterday. All I could hear was like chanting, like as if something was just chanting, like, and it was weird. Like it was almost like you say, do you know when you see Native Americans when they, when they dance and they chant around fire? It was similar to that, and it was just chanting and chanting. As it got closer, I could hear it go, Charlie, Charlie, and it was getting deeper and deeper and closer. And when I opened my eyes, there was this, big, black 7-foot shadow in the doorway, and I seen it for a couple of nights. And when I seen Katie, she said, "Oh my God," she said, "I've had exactly the same dream, but shouting Katie." Do you know what I mean? And there was also another woman who came when we were on the Haunted Hunts. She came, Karen, and her daughter had exactly the same dream, and in different houses.
Yeah.
And it was around the Grey Stall and Tatton and stuff like that. And it was very interesting. Do you know what I mean? But like Roxanne was a bit like, oh, I don't know. It could be your eyes, which thinking rational. You've just woke up. Was you dreaming? You've woke up and, you thought you've seen something. And then one night she woke up and seen it.
Yeah.
And she said to me, actually, you know what, Charlie, I do see what you're seeing now. Do you know what I mean?
And you see, when you speak to demonologists, they will tell you that darker things, you're most vulnerable when you're asleep, and that's where things can
approach you.
Because your defences are down, basically, and when you're sleeping, you're just,
I say what I say about the haunted dolls and haunted objects, but what I will throw out there, and if you guys are up for it, because you guys are on the show as well, if anybody with a haunted item or haunted doll wants to come on our Lighter Side show and prove us wrong, I'm happy for someone to come and prove me wrong and show me that these items are haunted. Give me the backstory. Explain how you came about getting them. Because at the moment, I'm just struggling to believe it.
I think that's
because,
there's too many people out there now that are claiming that they have an haunted doll. Do you know what I mean? That's why it gives it such a bad name to people that genuinely have.
Yeah,
but that's it.
If there's anybody out there that wants a platform to prove their doll is haunted, come on the show. We'll give you a date. Come on and chat to us. And
bring evidence.
Exactly.
Bring actual documented video footage with nobody around, so we can see actually that is what happening.
We'll take anyone on the show that can do that for us. And I want to be proven wrong.
If you're going to claim it, then validate it.
Exactly.
Sarah, I've been watching. Sarah's kind of looking about.
Oh, it's update time.
Because I'm watching the race, I'm watching the guinea pigs, and Tiger keeps moving about and all. We're on the last lap. Nothing's changed.
Right, that's fine. No, she's been quiet. That's how she's been so quiet during this live. She's watching the race. I'm the Grand Prix fan, and she gets. We should have been in.
Hold on a minute. No sympathy. Whose live is this?
I was.
Who organised this live?
Me.
There you go then.
So Charlie, how was your YouTube channel coming along?
To be honest, it's been quite good, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I done a video yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday morning. And like I said, even if we only got one view, I would be grateful. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that I put out there and I'm eager to get out every week and thingy, put videos on. It's when me and Roxanne have time. Do you know what I mean? I work, we have a busy life, and when we want to, we can go out and do something, which we are looking at doing more stuff. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 more places now that we've said that we're going to try and get out over the next couple of weeks. So I can put a variety of videos together and release, do you know what I mean? Like week by week or something like that. So then we got more time to go out and look for somewhere different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we going to get any twerking?
Oh yeah, always. You know me, I've always been a prankster, and I always like to do stupid poses and dances and stuff like. But it keeps you guys entertained. Do you know what I mean? When you look at it, and think, oh fucking hell, Charlie's at it again. Do you know what I mean? But it's nothing better than when you're out on an investigation, having a laugh and enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoy it. Enjoy what you do.
Positive energy to the location.
Yeah, but the response that we've had for people thinking, you know, the first episode, don't get me wrong, yeah, all right, it was good in the aspect of we enjoyed doing it. Do you know what I mean? But when I look back at it and I watch it, I was like, oh, I could have edited that a bit better, but I'm still learning editing, so it's still new to me. Or we got camera flare from the lights, or we were pointing at each other. Do you know what I mean? It's just simple little things that we will pick up along the way. And we will do that. We're looking at getting new cameras and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not something that we want to do, make full-time, right, let's get this straight, let's get all this done, filming, everything like that. It'll just be when we want to do it and when we enjoy doing it. But if people are watching now that are thinking, we want to thank them for watching it and commenting, you know, that was great, keep them coming, do you know what I mean? Really enjoyed it, you know, it's genuine, you know, so we're happy that people do like it, do you know what I mean? And they want to see more from us.
It's always nice to get the positives. I mean, not everyone does it for the positives.
No.
The positives definitely do outweigh the negatives that come with it as well.
Yeah.
So
I honestly, God, I am not bothered about anybody giving me criticism. I will take openly, you know, constructive criticism. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't like it, mate, that's fair enough. Nothing to do, you know, that's your opinion.
You're never going to please everybody.
Everybody, no.
You know, there's always going to be somebody out there that criticises you. I mean, we've had that, you know, we had during the pandemic, on our YouTube channel, you know, when the country was in lockdown, I'm using Andy's. He's got me doing that. I'm going to do it all the time now, Andy. We actually got a comment after somebody saying, where's all these investigations you promised? And he commented back saying, well, the country's in lockdown. We're not allowed to go anywhere.
That's it.
So you're, as Sarah's disappeared, she's away watched the last lap of the race.
See, for us being out here and going, we're struggling because people have to realise we've got kids and we've not got family here.
Yeah, so it's harder.
Kids while we go on an investigation, because not a chance. I mean, my youngest is 4-year-old. Not a chance I take. I like to keep my family life separate to. So and then Andy's job. I mean, we have to put that first. That's priority. So I mean, and that's what I says to Andy. You might have to explain to followers. We're trying, but we've not got family out here. Like we're doing UK. Like my mum would watch my kids while we go and investigate.
Yeah.
So
we're at a crossroads where probably for the next 2 years we're probably going to highlight a lot of locations and investigate a lot of locations and just put out what we find about them. There probably will be very few investigations for probably the next 2 years. It hurts us that we can't do them, but the other side of it is we just don't have the money that people are asking for to use locations out here.
That's different. That's the difference. We're here and then back home.
I mean, it costs a lot for a location in the UK. You know, I've heard of some locations, you know, wanting £2,000 a time. You know, but that's small fry compared to what people are asking for out here. Some people are asking 5 figures plus out here to spend the night at a location.
Although, I mean, because we're going over to New York, so that's one of the big places we're taking kids. I have said, because, I mean, we've all been to Pendle, haven't we?
Salem.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, you should.
To me, the linked.
Yeah. So what we're doing is you've probably heard us. So we spoke about Cerro Gordo. The plan is to get up there. We're looking at Bodie National Park. So there's a lot of the, you know, in the UK, these places would just be, you know, a fence around them in the middle of nowhere, and you just go and investigate them. But here they're state parks, they're national treasures, and there's a lot of money involved in trying to get into them. So whilst we can go to these places and we'll probably film, you know, when we were at Cerro Gordo, I went live for a few minutes just to show, you know, from the top of a hill. we'll take people for a walk around if we get a signal in the middle of nowhere. But there'll be no investigation involved in it, and it's saddening because we're missing it.
It's sad, but it's the way it goes. It's family life. I mean, I know a lot of people think paranormal investigators are freaks and this is all we do. 24 hours a day. But it lets people see that we're just normal people. Some of us are normal people. There's others out there that aren't quite so on the level. But we'll not go there. Anyway, what was I going to say? So let's people say that we are normal people. We do have families, jobs, kids, babysitting, all that kind of stuff as they come in. And I think that actually would be a good show to show a behind the scenes look at the paranormal.
Yeah.
Behind para, or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, the other caveat for us as well, we're not a massive team. We're 2 people. Our entire team is 2 people. We've got 850 of probably the best followers, that have stuck by us. We've not provided loads and loads of investigations for them, but they've stuck by us. And we'd never charge them to follow us either. You know what I mean? No. We wouldn't do that. So yeah, we talk about it being expensive out here. It's because we will never ask people to pay for that for us. So if we do something out here, we've paid for it ourselves. We know we've raised the money and we've done it ourselves.
Yeah.
We're establishing links with some teams out here that we can maybe go on the odd occasion, investigation with, where we can split the cost. We've spoke with our guys over in Rhode Island Geodemonology. When we go over there, we're gonna go meet up with them and maybe do 1 or 2 of the locations that they do, and split the cost with them. But it's
see, out here, going to a location is not like going from. I mean, how big is California? I mean, where we are.
It's not like going from Wrexham to Cardiff.
I mean, where we are, it's to LA. What is it, nearly?
LA itself is 100 miles. Cerro Gordo Mines from here is about 150 miles. When we go to, we're going to a place called Lake Tahoe for a holiday.
And it's still California.
It's still in California, but it's a 6.5 hour drive from where we are.
Nice.
And that's just within the state.
England in California, and then there'd still be the rest of California.
So it's not just the cost of renting the location. Some of them you end up, you have to fly to them. Then there's the hotel costs and.
It's that we Cat and Will Armstrong and they're for Idaho.
Yeah.
And Cat says I'd like to hook up because obviously we've got an American team. I'd like to meet up with your American team. I said, well, they're in Oregon.
Yep.
And she says, oh, that's a 36-hour drive. The phone was doing this last night as well. She says, that's a 36-hour drive from where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, for where we are to London, I can do London in about 6 hours.
Yeah.
I would feel angry.
It's a big old place, and there's a lot of history, but it's
But we're going to do something. It's just a case of just a little bit of patience.
Yeah,
it's going to come.
But like I say, those 850 people that follow us on our group, we've got a page as well, which I think a lot of our followers are on there as well. They've stuck by us so far,
we're thankful, aren't we?
They stuck by us when we had to cancel the Demonology Week because of my work. So it's great when you've got that, that nucleus
support network,
that nucleus of support that follow you regardless of what you do, which we're thankful for. Definitely thankful.
See, I think people obviously they say because they know you're genuine. And this is what people are wanting. Right, you get cheesy socks and you do this a lot and you drink in the middle of the afternoon. your wife does a great karaoke herself.
And then you do a great dance in your green Y fronts.
I mentioned to Andy we might have to put some bloopers on his page because, like, when we have gone to an investigation back home, you leave me to Andy. Like, I like to try and listen out, and I'm like, shut up, Andy. I'm trying to listen.
So
or you get me screaming, walking down into cellars, and I'm like, spiders.
Believe it or not, when I get going, I get quite talkative. You won't believe it because I'm so quiet on these lives, but
yeah.
I've been trying to squeeze words, literally squeeze words with you. I forgot what I was going to say. People follow you, they stick with you because they know you're genuine.
Yeah. We try to be, we call a spade, and we don't suffer fools gladly. We definitely know that since we started doing this just over a year ago, that within this field, those people you trust, you keep them close.
Yeah.
That's why we got involved with you guys, because we trust you guys, and you guys have become our core network within the paranormal, and that's fine. I'd keep that small field, that small group, because when we first got in it, we tried to be friendly with everyone. And then we started seeing some of these groups for what they are. There's a core. There's you guys. There is the guys from your previous team. The Haunted Hunts that we keep close. There's the guys in Duo Demonology. Our network is not huge, so we try and keep it that way. Paradrama. I was speaking to Scott before. I don't know if you've ever watched YouTube, and there's a guy on there called Keemstar. He does the show Drama Alert, and it's about all the drama within YouTube. Mm-hmm. What an idea for a show! The paranormal drama alert. You'd have such a show. Especially, there's a couple of teams, over here in America that seem to like a lot of drama. That seem to want to just cause trouble all the time. There's definitely shows to be had.
Sarah's right. Paradrama. I mean, I've watched a few groups and some of the stuff they come out with, and you just sit there kind of gobsmacked.
I know there's one group in the UK, and they're from down south, way down south, and I think they've built their entire channel, they've built their entire following on drama. I shared it with you the other week, didn't I, Scott? When I sent you the link to the live that was going on, and it's just day in, day out, drama this, drama that, this person that, but the individual goes live every single time when he's got this drama, and it's like, I could make a show out of showing these people and the drama.
I think he was on earlier on, actually.
Probably on again earlier on, yeah.
Aye. You might want to check that. I mean, we've had our fair share of drama, None of us are angels. We've all, done something we've regretted or said something we've regretted. We're all human. You know what I mean? And we've had our drama. It was sore to do it, and we've moved on. As you say, Andy, with some people, it's just, one thing and then bang back. It's just constant. And I think this is it, because I think some people love drama.
Yeah.
If there's a scandal going on, you want to hear about it. You want to see it or something. And I think maybe this is how some of these teams get followers, because I wonder what's going to happen next week.
That's why we keep our sort of network quite small. Is you don't see much drama within that group, and that's how we like it. Me and Scott argue all the time. Over whether his hair's bald or whether it's just shaven like that. But
it's shaving like that. It's shaving like that.
I'm in Plymouth, born in Birkenhead. My USB route down in my head. My question is, where is my PC mic? It's in the house somewhere.
Right, well, I'm sorry, buddy, but can I help you?
That was the most bizarre question I think I've ever seen in my life.
I know we don't usually kick people, but I think that one deserves to be kicked. Sorry.
Can we do a light side on paradrama? Yeah, we probably could.
The women.
Well, actually, I come to think
We're waiting for this. We are waiting for this one.
we're waiting for the ladies to do. See, folks, what happened is Charlie, Andy, myself, we just recorded the lighter side. And as what it said is, you know, the lighter side of paranormal, we don't take anything serious. But the ladies have been promising us for what, a month, 6-7 weeks or something.
Wow, something like that, yeah.
The ladies, they want you to do a ladies' version of it. So fair enough, go ahead. We are still waiting to find out a date.
Yeah.
Kirsty.
Why are you saying me?
How about same time next Sunday?
If
If the rest of the ladies are available, or even an hour earlier if it suits better.
Yeah, we're not doing anything next Sunday, so Roxanne will be
We're
up for
not
that.
doing anything next Sunday.
Yeah.
I can go on daddy daycare.
Yeah.
And mummy can. That's one live where we'll let them drink alcohol on the show.
And I can get into the room and watch the other Grand Prix.
Is there another one next week?
I think there's one. I'll need to check my calendar.
What?
No, I think you do next Sunday. Everybody in the comments, you might put in the comments, do you want to see the ladies do a show themselves next Sunday called The Lighter Side?
Gail, I'm drunk next Sunday.
Being drunk next Sunday, that'll make the show even better.
So Gail will be on, Laura, Kirsty, Roxanne, and Sarah. That'll be fine.
If there's any other females out there in the paranormal that want to jump on the show to just talk utter, excuse my French, bollocks about the paranormal, then hit us up. We'll get you in the live as well. The more the merrier.
Not a problem. We can take 10 people. We can take 10 people on that panel. So that Kirsty, I asked you because you're the only female left on the panel. See this phone get too hot.
No, Roxy's there as well.
She's in the chat, so
she's just not speaking at the moment.
And she's went very quiet all of a sudden. Know what I mean?
From other day, I got a little bit burnt on my back.
Yeah, she's got a bit of sunburn.
And that's got to do with next Sunday's show. Why?
Oh, because she'll probably say she's recovering next week because the pool's opened on where we live, so she's going to spend every day at the pool this week. So she'll probably use that as an excuse next week.
That'll help your sunburn. Then you're on next Sunday. You're on next Sunday 9 o'clock. Then no excuses.
Next Sunday 9 o'clock, everyone. The lighter side. The ladies' version.
It's holding us back, you know, because obviously the ladies first because we're gentlemen. So we can't do another show until the ladies do theirs because we are the gentlemen.
Oh, and we're building up the amount of stuff we've got to talk about. I mean,
drama.
I've got a whole load of photos of Charlie now at various locations doing funny poses.
I've got videos of Andy.
Scott's got 100 videos of me and Kirsty doing drunken TikToks.
Oh, mate, I got to say that video was amazing. I put on the post, brilliant. When you sat there and you looked like you were about to fall asleep and then you just turned and went and started singing.
When the sun goes, it was, so that is Luke Combs.
Yes.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I have heard it before, and I was sitting there and I thought, oh, Kirsty's filming him falling asleep on the chair outside, and next minute you just turn and start singing. Me and Roxanne were pissing ourselves laughing.
If Luke Combs is watching, I'm free to do a duet anytime. You know, just hit me up.
I'll need to watch that one. I've not seen that one.
Go back and have a look at it. And I phoned Scott and Sarah in the early hours.
Yeah, I'd passed out.
They were in bed.
Yeah,
she was hammered. I swear to God, Charlie, she was out her face.
Charlie, she was going to call you guys as well, but she fell asleep.
Well, when that next morning, and I says to Andy, I need to check my phone. I don't know if I try and ring in then. And when I looked, I thought
it was about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, though, wasn't it? Because it was midnight here. So. And I
says to Andy, it was just Scott and Sarah.
Yeah. I just does it go. Thanks very much for that. No, I
mean, this is the behind the scenes of the paranormal for those that are wondering what the hell they've just tuned into. We're now talking about what we do behind the scenes.
See, that's the other good thing. I know teams who only talk to each other investigations.
Yeah.
You know, they'll mail each other when there's an event 2 days. All right, we're good. Say they mail each other on the Thursday, right? We're going on Friday, we're going on Saturday, and they'll go and do the investigation. Then they're all way home, and they don't see each other for another couple of weeks, whatever. The good thing about us, with each team is our team as well, is we keep in touch daily.
Yeah,
yeah. I think we have a video call nearly every day this week, haven't we, Scott?
Aye, we've got quite a bit to discuss.
What I think people don't realise is you two guys have actually met each other. None of us have ever actually physically met.
No.
And I got a caterpillar cake. You missed that out, Mr. Murphy.
That's it.
Got a caterpillar cake.
But that's what I'm saying. We've never physically met. Our interaction since we met has been online. Obviously, when we get back, we've got plans.
But we had COVID and that though, didn't we? COVID, and then when we got out here,
I've priced up the motorhome, by the way, so that's still definitely a go.
I tell you what I want to do. I want to go like camping in like woods that's supposedly haunted.
Yeah.
I said that to him.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That.
Maybe Rox could organise that as her night in this plan we've got, and then we have to go and do that if she plans it.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll plan it.
Yeah.
She'll say to me, Charlie, you can go camping. I'm staying at home in my own fucking bed.
I don't mind camping. I've got all the gear. No idea.
We've started going camping, although we can't go camping for the next. How many weeks has it been? 5 or 6 weeks we can't go camping for now. But we've been out get the new tent and all different bits and pieces. We've been twice now. That's actually how we met Gail and her husband and her family. They were camped next to us last year at Blue Dolphin. I love camping, waking up in the morning and.
See, I love camping, but I have to check every corner for spiders.
Last time we went camping, you were 7 months pregnant.
7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's brilliant just going in the morning and unzipping the tent and what have you. Sarah takes about 10 layers of covers with her when we go camping, mind you. Seriously, she's got one of the big. We're going for a paranormal show, to a general chit-chat bollock show. Is it Snoody? You got a Snoody? Yeah. It goes down to her ankles.
Yeah.
That sounds massive.
Yeah.
She wears that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But she wears jammies, this big Snoody socks, and about 2 or 3 quilts. Are you lying there like that? Seriously? I mean,
the condensation from inside the tent dripping on your head because there's so much body heat going on.
Oh, we don't get condensation. We've got a fancy tent. We've got a non-condensation tent.
Oh.
Well, have you seen the tent you can get? And you're off the ground. And I says to Andy, now that's my ideal tent. No bugs are crawling on me.
Dragon behind you.
Yeah.
And it's called an Udi.
Udi. Ah.
Aye. I've washed it a couple of times for her. And she's trying to lift it out the machine. When it's wet, it's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's massive. But I've seen some weird tents up trees and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Out here, you get a lot of, obviously, out here, truck culture is quite big. So you got a lot of like Ford F-150s and all that sort of stuff. And you see a lot of them driving around and they've got like a fold-out tent on the roof of the cab. And it folds down into the back of the cab. And it's like a full-on tent in the back of the cars. They just drive around with it all the time as if, I'm going on a long journey today. Yeah. If I feel like stopping, I'll just stop and pull out the tent off the roof of the cab.
Do a maximum padding.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. You can't beat a bit of the outdoor life. But we got away off topic there. But no, as I say, aye, that's what I was saying. I think that's how the three of us got on so well. Because we are genuine, we don't talk crap. Well, we do talk crap at times. You know
that's our biggest thing, isn't it? We just all talk crap together. We sometimes get onto the paranormal, but
I knew in the game we like to touch on the subject.
It's like there's a saying, though, isn't it? The paranormal's what we do; it's not who we are.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the paranormal's what we do. You've not heard that in your life?
No, never heard that much. But I'm from Glasgow, mind you. I led the sheltered life. It's the built-in ground sheet stops the bug 0% spiders.
There you go.
There you go. That's your advice for the night. But
Well, it's like when we've had a party night, he'll come out and say to me next morning, "Oh, what were you up to last night?" And my eyes straight away, I'm like, "What?" And then when I've done lives, I blame him. I always tell him, "Take my phone off me, hide it away."
But it's like at the moment.
Once he falls to sleep, that's it. I'm in party mode.
Do you know, because of the time difference? Like the other morning, Scott, I woke up and there was that whole chain, that massive. It took me about 20 minutes to read through that chain because we'd been fast asleep and it had just been message after message after message. It's like, what's been going on? Oh, drama. What's been going on? Oh, God, who's done what? It's like, when I catch up with it all in the morning when you just woken up, like.
I mean, see, that's because of time difference, but I love Kirsty's videos. I think I've got 5 of them or something saved on my phone.
I reckon we should start her up a TikTok channel because I reckon she'd go viral with them.
She should start her own channel.
But do you know, like, his American friends, I hate to think what they think. I bet they think, oh, she's a bit of a mad one here.
But that video call she done is burned into my brain because she was absolutely, I swear to God, Charlie, you're lucky she didn't phone you. She was absolutely bricked. Know what I mean?
I had no one to talk to, so I thought, oh,
I noticed.
Sarah and Scott.
I noticed you need to talk to sitting there in your warm sunshine out your face with that. Who am I going to?
Who am I going
to? Rise and shine.
I'm awake. I don't care if. But she was absolutely.
This is the quietest I've heard Charlie in a long time.
You are?
The quietest I've heard you in a long time. It's like,
oh, mate, I'm just listening. It's intriguing just to listen to Kirsty's antics.
I tell you what, Charlie. Next time we'll ensure you're the first phone call.
Hey, don't.
Please do.
Don't give me ideas.
Make sure I'm not in work. Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you drinking again, Kirsty?
Oh, not for at least another
2 hours,
20 minutes.
No, I keep saying to him, do you know, because I had the gastric sleeve surgery, and I was talking to my mum about it because, like, my mum had 5 years ago, she had the band, and I said, Mum, because you can't eat and drink,
you've got to choose.
You got to choose, like, because it's like 30 minutes, and it's like, do you know, they do tell you when you do have some alcohol, be careful, because it'll lick you like that, and it is true. So it's like, if you could handle before you had surgery, now you can't. And it's like, he'll laugh at me because I'll just go to bed and leave him. And then he'll go and check on me and I'm there asleep.
Everything's so much stronger though. You know, you were mocking me the other day about Foster's rather than, this is empty, by the way, rather than like Bud Light. You were mocking me about Foster's. So I went in, I found that green and I found the blue Foster's. In the UK, Foster's is what, 4.2%?
Less than that, isn't it?
It's right. It's less.
It like 3.5, 4. It's something.
5.7% the Foster's is out here. Everything is so much stronger. They sell, you know, like your alcohol pops. They don't do like Wicked and stuff like that, but they do things like Backbreaker and
like 8%.
Stuff
and it's
like that.
Oh my God.
And the standard percentage for an alcohol pop is 8%.
Yeah.
But they sell it in like gallon cans that you're holding like this. So,
and they sell red cups as well.
Red Solo cups.
Have you got a red cup?
Let's have a party. Do you know that song? Red Solo Cup.
Every American film I've seen for the parties, they've always got red cups.
Yeah, red Solo cups. Yeah, you get red Solo cup. We've got a collection at the moment of so you know when you go to like McDonald's or Burger King or places like that, you know you get the little paper cups in the UK.
Yeah,
you get these massive big plastic cups out here, and they're great for keeping for drinks and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a cupboard full of like Popeyes, Arby's, Burger King, McDonald's plastic cups. Saves buying them.
Yeah, true.
That's very true. I 4.2 a can of Foster's is out here.
Yeah, so it's like 5.7.
Another week I had about 10 of them, so I don't know what that.
Yeah, I think it's export strength they call it. Because I know down in the Falklands as well, it was like 5 point something%. So I think it's like they buy in the export strength stuff.
But I think Kirsty should do her own wee video.
I think we set her up a TikTok and see how viral it goes.
I have got a TikTok.
Well, let's set it up and see how viral it goes. That TikTok's our TikTok.
No, I've got one.
Oh, have you now?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know about that.
The surprise on Andy's face there. Did you see that? Oh, you've got a TikTok here. See, as soon as we come off, you know where Andy's going, don't you? Like that. Woof, right.
What's the best restaurant over here? I'd say that, Sarah, the best one that I visited since we got out here is a place called Buffalo Wild Wings. It's quite close to...
You'll like it because it's like a sports bar.
It's like a sports bar. So you go in and it's literally massive screens everywhere with every sport on you could wish for. But the wings in there, so it's Buffalo Wild Wings, the wings, the chicken tenders, the fries, the tots, they're amazing. And then there's another place, Red Robin. They do the best burgers. Oh,
there's a lot of places out here, isn't there? You can't pinpoint.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've not been to half of them. You know, we've not been to a Cheesecake Factory yet. We've not been to a Dave and Buster's yet. There's so many we want to visit. You know, when I was out here years ago, I went to a Harley Davidson restaurant. And I had the most amazing pulled pork barbecue butty, but burger as they call it out here. It depends what you want. You know, there's Mexican places. If you like Mexican, you'll find the best Mexican ever. If you like, the only thing we can't find really is Chinese food. We don't find that often.
No, there is restaurants where
it's not what you'd expect though. It's not what you'd get in the UK. So that was Sarah asking us that question.
I think us females have TikTok most was just to watch them. Sarah, she's obsessed with TikTok. I've got TikTok and I watched one today, right? And I watched it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And it was a guy watching a train. He was just standing. This train was coming out of the state and the train stopped and he's standing watching it. And that was it. And you think,
that might be his passion. That's his passion.
No, he wasn't writing. I was actually telling Sarah on it. I don't know if you remember. Remember the train spotters you used to get?
Yeah.
They would sit to the end of the platform. Glasgow Central. Whenever you came in, you'd see them all sitting with their deck chairs at the end of the platform, and they'd write down all the trains. But he wasn't writing anything. He's just standing.
Yeah.
And there was another one with a young lassie standing. And this train goes by her. And you think, why? Do you know
what topics have we got onto here now?
I don't know. You see, this is a good thing. This is a good time about the lighter side. And, you know, when we get together, it's paranormal plus bollocks.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's it. People want to have a good time. Come and watch when the three of us are on. We'll just have a laugh. But
yeah.
But don't you think that's what people need a wee bit more of these days? All right, we still take the paranormal serious.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the good point there, Scott, is that we're not making light of the paranormal. That's one thing I don't want anyone to think that we're just mocking the paranormal, because we're not.
No.
We when we talk about the paranormal, we talk serious about the paranormal.
Yeah.
But we have a laugh at, you know.
See, that's why there's lighter side, and lighter side is like people getting to know us, like people that all don't. Yeah. You know, for like new followers, and it's like they're seeing a side of us. Yeah. What they don't see when we're doing paranormal.
Yeah. So there you go.
The other
if anyone was wondering what it's all about, that's the reason.
And the other good thing is we can drift in. It sounds like we're bragging, but we're not. Well, we're in a way, but who cares?
We can drift in and out of
anything. Paranormal, then go right off topic, and then come back to paranormal, and just keep, getting in and out of it all night. You know, we talk about boiled eggs, and then spirit boxes, and then toast.
So, anyway, the photo behind you, Charlie, where was it taken?
Screaming house.
I was going to say, because it looks like you stood outside your house and your kids have just peed you off. It
No,
looks like
them
kids again.
It was behind. It was actually by the piano, I think it was.
Yeah, it's a good photo. That. I like the lighting. I'm gonna sound really sad here. I like the lighting you've used.
It's we paid £24, I think it was, for a small like multicolored light, so you could have like normal your white, your yellow light. Then it'd go on to like you'd have strobing like ambulance, traffic, police, blah blah blah, and then you can have where you can go on individual colors, and then when you put the percentage down, it'll drop from like a bright red down to green, down to blue, down to purple, pink. Do you know like that? So it's pretty good to use.
No, I like the lighting you've used on it. I like the blue lighting. So I wasn't mocking the photo. It's just the stern looks. It makes you look like you just told the kids off.
No, it looks serious, doesn't it?
Does look serious.
You've had enough. You've left the house.
That was where I was disappointed when I thought we had nothing at Screaming House. So.
And then you got home, you had loads.
Well, it wasn't loads, like, but there was a few bits.
Do you know what? That happens more than you think, though, doesn't it? You know, like we talked about it before. It wasn't until we got home from Druid's Temple that we realised we'd picked up what we picked up. Yeah. And we'd left there thinking, oh, the place is fine. You know, Dog was a bit hesitant, but could that be because it was cold? Yeah. We've got nothing, then listen to it back, and boom. Yeah, it's like, oh, we did catch something.
That's what happened with Jennifer and our American team. When we done last year and we recorded and we sent it to her, and she came back to me and she says, "Do you realise just how much, you know, you were the same, you said the same, Andy, with a different one, how much you have got on that recording?" And so Jennifer says to me, what to do is just, you know, go to your bed, don't bother watching it, put the headphones on and listen to it. Yeah. So this is what I've done over, and every time I listened to it, I kept hearing something different, something else, you know. And I mean, for one example is we were investigating, it was at the old staircase, and it was right next to the old lift shaft. Now it's just a wreck. It's just bits of metal. Now there's nothing there. But you can hear in the background, you can hear quite clearly the mechanical sound, as if it's a lift coming down. And then, do you remember the old lifts you used to get with ping when you go to the floor?
Mm. Yeah.
Well, this is what you hear. The mechanical sound stops, and then you hear a slight ping. And then I thought, we were right next to what used to be the lift shaft. So it is amazing what you're actually recording.
What you pick up on,
yeah.
And you don't realise it.
That's one of my favourite things about when we film things and etc. I love listening to. We use a very, very basic app we use Video Pad at the moment. It's just free to download. I always separate the audio from the video, and I'll always look at that the sine wave. I'll always have a look, see if there's anything that looks untowards on the sine wave, and then I'll always just listen to the sound separate from the video every single time. And that's what I did with Scott's. I separated the sound from the video, and I just concentrated on the sound, not what was going on in the video.
Yeah, because we've done the live. I think it was 22 or 24 individual files you sent me.
Yeah.
I was like, geez. And then we done the live one, but we obviously the stuff that Andy picked up on the recording, none of us heard any of that when we were actually doing the investigation.
I think the most compelling was when I got it was the same voice, but one part of it was there was more vocal tone than the other, and you just heard a woman say, "Called," well, you know, like in two tones.
Yeah,
it said the name of the place you were at, you know, and it was bizarre, and it was over several sort of sweeps as well. If you get me, it was over several octets or whatever you call them of the sound. So it definitely wasn't one of you guys saying it. You could hear it was.
The thing that amazed me, again, it sounds like bragging, but I was pretty chuffed with it. So was the team. When Andy sent us all the bits and pieces, it was as if there was 2 or 3 spirits running about us having a conversation.
Yep.
You know, beside us. So we were kind of like in the middle. We were in the middle there. The 3 of them were talking while we were standing there investigating. And I think one of them told the other one to shush or something, be quiet or something.
It was like, if I remember rightly, it was, I can't remember which way round it was. It was either a woman trying to shut a man up or a man trying to, I can't remember which way round it was. I think it was a woman trying to shut a man up, I think.
Like you think the matron or something of the place.
Yeah, it's almost like a matron trying to, stop a patient saying something that would land the matron in trouble, if you get me.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sounded like that. There was some amazing stuff in that. And like I say, if you want to send anything ever, Charlie,
Yeah.
if you want to send it, I love sitting, just with my headphones on, because it keeps somebody from nagging at me and just listening. But the thing with Scots is there was things in there, and you kind of like, well, that sounded a bit different. Some of them was just like, when you're listening to it in full speed, it just sounded like a slight frequency change. It wasn't until you really slowed it down or really amplified that you actually heard sort of vocal tone, you heard formation of words, So I love messing about with stuff like that. I'm an electronics technician at heart. That's what my job is. Don't ask me how to make a REM pod, though. I have no idea.
Oh, anybody wants REM pods? Chat. Hi, James. James joined us first.
That way, there. That was a free plug for you.
That way.
By the way, mentioning the REM pods.
I've been doing this for nearly 2 years. I still can't get my directions right. You know what I mean? Everybody's wanting in the REM pods. Challenge your man. Isn't that right? Just contact Charlie.
No, what I want, Charlie, is I want one of the old radios that you made. That's what I'm wanting.
The Portal.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's what I want.
That's fine.
Well, see, I mean, I know you do your tech and all that, Charlie, and your AirPods off your movie, but do you think maybe paranormal is, what's James saying? Jem, that's not a surprise, Scott. I hope Jem's always ripping it out of me for some reason. She's a bit of a bully. She's English, actually. She's from England. I can't remember whereabouts in England she's from.
She's from Yorkshire, isn't she?
Hull.
Hull. Yorkshire.
She's a Yorkshire lass.
She's another Yorkshire lass.
It's Humberside, isn't it? But no, not Humber. They call
it's
it
Yorkshire and the Humber.
Yeah.
So she's always.
It is Yorkshire.
She actually got a, just because we was talking about her drunken video call. Jem got a drunken video call for us that night we were drinking.
No, Kirsty felt left out.
What do you mean?
She was like, I drunk call them and they don't drunk call me. You felt left out, didn't you?
Oh no, I did get a message when you all were drinking. Sarah saying, "Hey," and I know she's drunk.
That was Sarah's doing that. She arranged a video call, Kirsty. So I do apologise. The next time we are out our faces, I will call you.
I always keep my phone on vibrate. It's never on loud, so.
But I'll mail you first.
When my sister goes, I mean, she's tried it loads of times and she never gets me. But I get them.
I'll give you a day's warning. We're getting hammered tomorrow night, though, so I'm going to give you a phone. How's that? It was quite. For what I remember, it was quite a funny call. But
there's an idea. There's an idea for a lighter side, and it's a prolonged idea for a lighter side. We can't get together and have a drink, so one night we'll just go on a live. We'll get the beers flowing, and we'll just put the world to rights. Maybe talk a bit of paranormal in there as well.
Does that sound like a good idea?
That sounds like a great idea.
I don't know about that one. You know how.
Excuse later on that. Oh, did I say that? Oh, it was Jack, not me.
It is Sarah. I agree. It's the time difference.
Aye, that's a problem. So Kirsty, you need to get drunk earlier. I remember talking to Charlie one night and he had quite a few beers on it. Or was it whiskey? I think it was whiskey, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Charlie had just a wee bit too much of the whiskey, shall we say. And So no, I don't think a drunken light effect would be a good idea.
I actually fell asleep on the arm of a chair like that. I did. Roxanne come down 5 o'clock in the morning. And I still had the laptop in front of me, and I was like, "I've well gone."
You drink the Jack Daniels honey, don't you?
Any of them, mate. Jack Daniels honey, Jack Daniels original, apple,
You
and
can see them out here. They sell like they must be.
There's the Vindaloo.
3 litre bottles.
yeah.
The 3 litre bottle of honey Jack Daniels at the moment is $25.
Wow.
Just about £20. It's like I need to stay away from them because if I'll say to Kirsty, you know, like you get a bottle of wine, I'll have a couple of glasses of whiskey. Half a bottle later, it'll be gone.
Well, it was that night I was talking to Scott. I woke up and it was a full bottle of High Club.
Yeah.
And there was that much left in it when I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, the other weekend she phoned you, Scott. You, Scott. I drank half a bottle of Gentleman Jack that night and didn't even realise I did.
That's an idea.
And it was like,
you see all these pranks people do with Carolina Reaper, Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
He'll not touch it again.
But if you know, if Jack Daniels or anyone like that is watching the live right now and they want to sponsor that live, we're more than happy to take donations of bottles of Jack Daniels.
My son did it. I got a phone call from school. He doesn't like spicy food, and he was dared to try Carolina Reaper. And I got a phone call from nurse that they were sending him home. And I says to her, I went, Kenzie, what are you doing having one of them? Even I've not tried Carolina Reaper.
He said to his
and I
mate,
love me curries.
Yeah, he said to his mate, that's not going to be hot, and put the whole thing in his mouth and chewed it all. The entire thing.
I was singing Johnny Cash's song. He came home, he's like, Mum, don't. And I just kept walking around house singing Burning Ring of Fire for Ken's dog at the toilet.
You tell Jem won't be watching that one. She'll be on there. She'll be on the live getting drunk with us.
Well, actually, Jem, I know you're watching though. Always a pleasure seeing you. If you're not,
no, down there.
A very interesting. She's doing it. I've got a very interesting video of Jem drunk. Andy, that night we done the live for the cab and we got interrupted with security. Remember talking about it? Jem's not watching anymore. Jem sent me a video, bless her, a few weeks ago now, that she was eating crisps and looking for her phone. You know.
You'll have to get Jem ladies light aside next week.
Aye, that's an idea. But she's in Australia. So she's
what time is it in Australia? It's
no idea.
Upside down, isn't it? So,
I keep losing
I
track.
think when we done the live the other week, it was 12 o'clock here in Wrexham, and it was 9 o'clock, I think, at night in Australia.
Morning. So what Jem, what time is it there at the moment? Just wait for it to pop up. 8 a.m.
It's 8 a.m.
There you go. So it's not that bad.
9 hour difference.
Yeah, because if those lasses are going to have a cheeky wine and Jem in the morning, me in afternoon.
Yeah.
You're at me and Jem are bad.
You check out Hectic Paranormal's TikTok. We were talking about TikTok.
Yeah.
Check out their paranormal channel. Check them out anyway. Hectic Paranormal. Check out their TikTok channel. They put up one, I think it was yesterday, Kate and Jem sitting at a table, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I couldn't. I was trying to figure out who the voices were they were using, and I played it hour and hour, and I just couldn't get it. Yeah. But check them out because some of their TikToks are really funny, especially yesterday's one.
Are you guys on TikTok, Charlie?
Yeah. Got one
yes,
of our...
you are actually.
Yeah.
So just have a look. I might duet some of your TikToks and some of yours, Scott, and some of Jem's, and we might start doing some duets on there and start a little duet war.
Singing? You mean singing? I can't sing.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I've got a video of you dancing that I might put on there with some music behind it. Especially with green pants. What is it? I'm back. Dancing into the room in your green pants.
I thought you meant the videos for a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Jem. So ours is UK Paranormal because UK GWP, I think, was taken. In fact, no, it's changed. It's UK GWP USA. There you go.
Why do they need all these letters? That's how, if I'm talking about them on a live, which isn't very often after Kirsty death.
You've never once got ours right yet.
I've never get their name right.
Don't forget, we started as Yorkshire Ghost Whispers Paranormal, but then we
weren't just doing Yorkshire.
We weren't just doing Yorkshire, because originally when we started, we thought we'd look at things around our local area, so we started calling it Yorkshire, and then we started looking further afield, so we changed the name to UK GWP, and now UK GWP is in the USA, because we do get a lot of questions, or a lot of people, you know, when we're following people on TikTok and stuff like that, they question us. They're like, well, what are you doing that for? You from the UK? We're like, actually, we're living out here at the moment. So that's why we added the USA onto the end of it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Just to show that we're in the USA. Okay. So it's UK GWP space USA.
Can you do me a favour then, Andy? Stop adding letters onto your name. Because I always used to end up saying Kirsty and Andy's channel.
Yeah, no, that's on TikTok only, Scott. On Facebook, we're still UK GWP. On TikTok, UK GWP.
Just Andy
UK GWP. On whatever we're on, it's UK. We're on so many now.
Right. Okay. I think I've got you.
Look at the time. We've been going for 2 hours now. Must be what, 11 o'clock at your end?
It is 11 o'clock, yeah.
11 o'clock.
You're at work in the morning, Charlie?
Oh, fucking right I am. Yeah, I got to get up at 4:15.
Oh, let's knock it on the head there then, shall we? And save some of this banter for the lighter side.
Excuse me, Mr. Murphy. Whose channel is this?
I'm feeling sorry for Charlie. I'm feeling sorry for Charlie. Yeah.
He goes to America and thinks he can take over the world.
See, we're all right. It's only 3 in the afternoon here. We still got a day full of activities ahead of us.
Aye. You know, Kirsty's got a bottle of wine shouting her name. It's fine.
Not today. She hasn't. No.
What?
A bottle of wine.
Oh no.
No. So he goes to America and thinks he can rule the world. You know what I mean? My channel. Sorry, Sarah and I shouted.
It's Mother's Day.
Anyway, here as well.
Mother's Day, yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day in the US.
I see that because Jennifer was meant to be on tonight, but Liz, and she mailed me back saying, "Oh, wait a minute, I can't because it's Mother's Day." I thought,
so are we just an afterthought?
You know,
he's just announced that we were an afterthought.
No, Jennifer was joining the panel with you guys tonight.
So
there, you weren't an afterthought. See,
let him off then. Let him off.
Aye, see there, that shut you right down, Mr. Murphy, didn't it?
No, it didn't. I've still got hair.
Well, you might have hair, but I've still got my looks. That's the main thing. But no, Jennifer was going to join us. She's been a wee while because she's been busy. So, but then she says, "No, it's Mother's Day," and I was like, "Wait a minute, it's Mother's Day in March." You know, no. But we'll wind it up there, folks, because I'm saying it, not Mr. Murphy.
I'm just thinking of you, Charlie, and your beauty sleep and all that.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
You just want to plug your channels before you go?
I think I've plugged mine enough now.
Yeah.
You shut up. You've done yours enough. Charlie.
We're across all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all as Charlie and Rocks Paranormal. And if you go on our page, I have put a notice on there, a statement, and with all our links in if people want to follow us. If you don't, that's completely fine. But yeah, give us a follow and see what we got coming up.
Give them a look as well. And we're in the usual place anyway. We never go anywhere. You're still here. You're not going anywhere. And check out Hectic Paranormal, James Group. And Kate, spot on girls. So we're back on Tuesday night with Paranormal Consultant, and then Wednesday with Nighthawk Paranormal. So thanks for coming in, everybody. I know it kind of went paranormal, off, on, off, but it's not a good night. So take care.
It's what it's about. Just have a look.
One last comment from Jim. Same to you, Doc. Talk to you soon, honey.
You probably missed the paranormal section.
Remember, next Sunday, ladies show on here.
Yep. 9 p.m. UK. 1 o'clock PST for anyone in the States.
Watch out, the
PBB.
ladies are about.
PST, PBB, CMT, GMT, whatever the hell you're. Just check.
UK GWP
Aye, never mind.
in the
We're out
PST.
here, folks.
See you later.
You get
Bye.
Bye. Bye.